Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to you. Feature race of the afternoon, the Brown Advisory Legacy Chase is coming up. The first race of the afternoon over timber. First off, we'll go through the runners and riders. Number 1, Clash Cherokee, trained by Richard Valentine and ridden by McLean Hendricks.
Number 2, Carnhursker, ridden by Mark Beecher and trained by Alicia Murphy.
Number 3, Ebonhour, the favourite, trained by Cyril Murphy, ridden by Gustav Dahl.
Number 4 is Naturally Won, trained locally here by Willie Dowling and ridden by Jack Doyle, who's tracing at Chibble.
Number 5 is a scratch. Number 6, Class Indian, owned by Jeremy Baitoff, ridden by his brother Justin Baitoff and trained by William Dowling.
Number 7, up here from Virginia today, Canyon Road, trained by Christopher Klobb and ridden today by Jeff Murphy.
Number 8, the mounted Kieran Norris, trained by Doug Fowd, winner already today. We have Worried Man.
Number 9 is Straight To It, trained by Jack Fisher and ridden by bug rider Brett Owings.
Number 10, the penultimate horse, ridden by Darren Eagle, trained by William Dowling, triple-handed in this. We have Rodriguez.
And finishing up the field is number 11, owned by Mrs. Johnson, Cyrus, trained by Jack Fisher and ridden by Sean McDermott.
Sean, of course, looking for a double here today. We need a feature race of the afternoon, the Legacy Chase. Carries a lot of prestige with it. They're going to be going 3 miles in Maryland countryside over timber fences. But we discussed earlier this morning when we walked the track, it really is a nice timber course here for horses.
Yes, I mean, just to talk about it briefly, Kevin, I mean, timber racing is very prominent here in the United States. Not so in any other country that I know of. And it's an amazing sport to watch. The horses jump so well over these fences. Today's course is a little bit not smaller than what we're used to going over. I mean, in actual fact, the Maryland Hunt Cup is staged just down the road here, and I mean, those fences are up to 5 foot tall, I think. But it's a definite great test of horses' jumping ability. They all have to, be able to get the trip of 3 miles or 3 miles plus in some occasions, and they need a lot of help from the riders here too.
I'd much prefer to be sitting on my chair than sitting on any horse, I tell you, in this race. But let's look at some of the runners and riders here. I mean, the one we have to start with is Ebonhour. Now, they're all experienced horses running in this race. They've all ran over timber. They've probably all come close to winning the race, if not won a couple. It really is the ultimate test, the horse and rider, like you mentioned. But Ebonhour seems to have been able to go to the well time and time again and actually beat some of these on previous occasions.
Yeah, Ebonhour is kind of a standout performer as regards timber racing over here. Won the International Gold Cup in the spring. In saying that, Kevin, he won, on quite soft surface that day. Different conditions here today. It's going to be a faster type of timber race than some of the timber horses used to run in. The ground is a little bit quicker and they'll be moving along a little bit faster than normal. It's not so much of a test of jumping here, this track, but it can also suit a horse coming from a hurdle, background to, begin his timber racing career. But we'll see more of that in the maiden races later on. Ebonhour, like I say, is a very smart performer. Horse I fancy in here is Carnhursker, owned by Armada Stables. That syndicated course is run by Perry Bolton, who's a great supporter of steeplechase racing. Mark Beecher in the irons today.
Genius.
Absolute genius. I mean, you can't get a better man in these type of races. Mark Beecher is a wonderful rider. I've seen him riding fantastic races over the years, and I'm going to go with that horse there today, Carnhursker. He's primed and ready for the race. Alicia Murphy has him spot on, I believe, here for today. And off his farm in the spring, he had a nice win in the timber race down there in Iroquois. Similar kind of conditions. It's a faster type of timber track down there, more like what we have here today. I know the ground was fairly lively down there that day, and I think conditions will be just more suitable for him than Ebonhour today.
Well, what's very interesting here is Willie Dowling is triple-handed. Now, I don't have hard data to back this up, but I believe Willie Dowling is the only trainer in America to have trained a winner on the flat, through dirt and turf, and train winner over hurdles and timber in the same year. So Willie is coming here fully loaded with 3 horses in this race. A young trainer, of course. Really, Willie would have ridden races against the two of us. A young trainer, but I've no doubt that he'll have his horses properly prepared for today as well.
Yeah, I mean, that statistic, Kevin, I'm not 100% sure about, but I mean, I believe it. Willie Dowling, he was finishing up his riding career when I came here 6 years ago, and he's turned the corner. I mean, he's quite a decent trainer here now. He's starting to build his business, and he's, like you say, he's winning races here and there. I'm sure he'll have his horses all, primed and ready for this race here, as it is his local meet. And people back home may remember Willie when he used to ride for Linny Lungo over in England. Good rider he was back then. Good lad.
Yeah, Willie, he's a hard grafter, and again, he's the heartbeat of what jump racing is here in America. Beyond that, I'd have to ask you, Willie, you're a little bit of expertise on number 9, Straight to It. You're part of the Jack Fisher team, Straight to It. He's been around the block, knows his way around the timber course. He wouldn't be without a chance, am I right?
Wouldn't be without a chance, Kevin. He's coming off of a layoff, so I mean, you always have to have that in the back of your mind. They're going 3 miles, it's a long race. But he's got no better man than Jack Fisher to have him fit and ready for this race. Again, he's a Giants Causeway. I love these Giants Causeways when they're turned steeplechase, and very, very good horses, and he's got very good form as a steeplechase horse. I probably do fancy Jack's other horse here, Cyrus. Sean McDermott in the irons today. He would be, I think he'd be there or thereabouts right at the end of it.
Cyrus, of course, a very class hurdle horse. He ran in all the big races, was a very good novice in his time. Anything else in there, Willie, we'd have a look at?
And then the final
Class Indian maybe for Justin Batoff.
Class Indian for Justin Batoff. I know, I mean, going on form, I think Class Indian would probably be the pacemaker in this race.
Number 5,
I know he's
right
tried
away.
to maybe rate the horse before, but I think he's going to probably just let him go on and run. I think his better form again has been on a softer surface, so they might be too quick for him here today.
Yeah, and Willie, further on to the actual Legacy Chase itself, of course, wonderfully supported by Brown Advisory, and I believe that we're going to have a few words with Mike Hankin after this race. But would trainers be using this as a prep race for some of the bigger races in the fall?
I mean, possibly, Kevin. I mean, it's not a long fall season here for horses to run, so I think the majority of people have their horses primed and ready to run when they're running here today. Like you say, Brown's Advisory are very generous sponsors of this race, and we forgot to mention in the last race the ratings race to Dexo. I mean, without these people sponsoring the races, we can't continue, so we're very, very gracious to those people.
Absolutely, none of this happens without the team around it, of course. Again, to remind you, this live stream that we're doing is a wonderful experience, very experimental, a very small team here. We've Jack Hardaway and Charlie Fenwick. Charlie Fenwick, believe it or not, the only American rider to win the English Grand National on a horse called Ben Nevis. I believe it was still black and white back then, Willie, when he won it, but a serious performance.
Back in 1980, would you believe, before we were born, Kevin, but that was an amazing achievement. We're going to talk to Charlie here later, I believe. Hopefully we'll get an interview with him, but yeah, he runs the show here, and what a good job he does.
Well, there's the bugle, ladies and gentlemen. They're about 5 minutes before the start of the race, and we'll be back with you for some reaction. Thank you very much.
Waiting for Class Cherokee. And away they go. Class Indian goes to lead with Cornhusker on the inside. Rodriguez on the extreme outside. Class Indian. Rodriguez now follows in second place as Ceros has moved closer to the leaders, as is Cornhusker. Canyon Road is there, also Worried Man. Class Cherokee, Ebonhour, they follow as they head towards and over the next fence. Justin Batoff and Class Indian opening up a clear lead. Racing in second place, Rodriguez, Worried Man, Ceros. Cornhuskers there also with Canyon Road, Straight to It. Naturally Won, Class Cherokee, and completing the field is Ebonhour. Class Indian heads towards the third fence with a clear lead here, at least a furlong ahead, as they race towards now the fourth fence. Class Indian all alone on the front end. The rest of the field is pretty tightly bunched with Rodriguez racing in second place, followed by Worried Man. Ceros is there also with Canyon Road on the outside of Straight to It. At the fence, Class Indian is way ahead, and at the fence it's Rodriguez who leads the second pack. Rodriguez on top. Worried Man follows with Ceros. Cornhusker on the inside as they race out of our view briefly. Our leader is back in sight, and that's Class Indian. Justin Batoff all alone on the front end. Rodriguez jumps in second place with Worried Man on the outside. Ceros follows in fourth. Straight to It is there also with Canyon Road, Cornhusker, Naturally Won, Class Indian, and Ebonhour completing the field. Class Indian has led from the drop of the flag He's all alone on the front end. The remainder of the field is at least a furlong back. They race now towards the sixth fence. Rodriguez continues in second place. Worried Man in third. Ciros racing in fourth. Back to the front end, though, is Class Indian heading now over the next fence. Here comes Rodriguez racing in second place. Worried Man follows in third, with Ciros jumping in fourth place. Canyon Road, Corn Husker straight to it. Naturally One, Class Indian, and Ebenauer is our trailer. One more time to go out in the country. So they've got a long ways to go, and it's anybody's horse race. Class Indian continuing to set the pace. Rodriguez and Darren Nagel racing in second place, but a long ways behind the leader. Worried Man follows in third, with Canyon Road there also straight to it. Ciros is in front of them. Cornhusker is there also, with Naturally One. Class Indian and Ebenauer, as the leader is around the turn. That's Class Indian starting or about to start his second time around. Rodriguez has run second throughout, a long ways behind Class Indian, who is dictating the pace. Jumping in second place, Rodriguez in the middle of the course. Worried Man on the outside. Canyon Road, Ciros straight to it. Corn Husker, Naturally One. The leader is adding over the 10th. Class Indian and Ebenauer completing the field. Or Class Indian on top by many. Rodriguez in second place. Worried Man in third. Canyon Road, Ciros straight to it. Corn Husker, Naturally One. Class Cherokee next to last, and Ebenauer completing the field. They race away from us once again. Class Indian has the lead, which he has held from the beginning. Rodriguez has stalked him from a good ways back in second place throughout. They're racing up the hill towards the 12th fence. Class Indian will be there first. Rodriguez a long ways back in second place. Worried Man continues to go well in third, with Canyon Road right behind him and Ciros alongside. Straight to it follows, and trailing is Corn Husker. Naturally One is there also, with Ebenauer completing the field as they go out of our view. They come back in the sight. Class Indian jumps the next fence with the lead. He's still all alone, but the field is moving a bit closer to him, or he's moving back to them. Rodriguez now challenging for the lead. Worried Man is right behind them as they race back into the main part of the course. This is their final time around, and we've got a new leader. Rodriguez on top. Worried Man in second place as they race straighten away down the backside. Heading towards the 14th fence, Rodriguez, Worried Man, Class Indian, with Canyon Road there also, Ciros, as they head towards the next fence. Rodriguez, Class Indian has come back to regain a slight advantage. Class Indian with about a half-length lead over Rodriguez and Worried Man. Canyon Road right behind them, with Ciros as the leader is jumping the next fence, and that's Class Indian. He's got a second breath and he's on top again. Class Indian on top, Rodriguez on the inside at the second last fence. Rodriguez goes well over that one. Class Indian goes to the outside fence as they race towards the final turn. Anybody's horse race as they race around the turn now. Rodriguez on top. Class Indian follows in second place. Worried Man, Corn Husker, and Mark Beecher are moving up. Canyon Road driving back straight to it is there also as they straighten away and head for the last fence in the stretch. Coming straight at us, Worried Man is there, Rodriguez is there, Corn Husker is there. It's anybody's horse race of that group as they head towards, and now at and over the last fence, Corn Husker and Mark Beecher on top and drawing away. Rodriguez trying to come back again and Worried Man. It's Corn Husker and Mark Beecher. Rodriguez in the late rush, and Rodriguez and Darren Nagel, I believe, steals this race.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's hugs and kisses galore going on in the paddock here. The local winner, Rodriguez, appears to be the unofficial winner, first past the post here in our feature race, the Brown Advisory Legacy Chase. Justin Batehoff very early on made it a very honest pace on Indy's Legacy. Darren Nagel picked up on Rodriguez very early on to get in the driver's seat on the second group. Appeared to be second best leaving the last, but Rodriguez battled back and appeared to just get up on the line. We haven't had the official results yet, Willie, but God, that looked like a hell of a race.
Looked like a hell of a race, Kev. I was going to start calling myself after Conor McGregor there, Mystic Mac, because I thought I had the winner there. Con Husker looked all over the winner coming down to the finish line here, but strong ride from Darren Nagel. Like I said earlier on, he's chasing a title, and he really drove that horse home here. I think he just got him up on the line. And coming in third was Class Indian, who was, you know, the wide open leader early on, and what a great performance by him. We talked about Willie Dowling before the race, and he's got first and third in here, so great training performance by him.
No question. I mean, Justin Batehoff, again, another heartbeat of this amateur racing scene in Maryland. Justin is an attorney that spends his day in the office, gallops every morning, owns the horse himself. Give it to his friend Willie Dowling to train. Like you said, made it a real honest pace though. There was no hiding place out there for 3 miles.
No, Kevin, I mean, there's something about watching a grey horse running and jumping over these timber fences here out in the countryside. He was given a display jumping. He's a great horse for his amateur rider, Justin Batehoff, and he gets on with him so well. And I mean, like I say, when he opened up so much, you're waiting for him to get swallowed up, but in actual fact, he's doing the right thing, because he's finishing close. Right at the end, if he hadn't gone that quick, he probably would have got outrun at the finish. You know what I'm saying? No
question. It was a fabulous race to watch. Again, we go back to the winner, Rodriguez, trained by Willie Dowling, owned by a local syndicate here too. Rodriguez, he's owned by Kipling Hall, but you can see his colours, the red, black, and yellow of the Maryland flag. As I said, when I was coming out onto the track, there was hugs and kisses and laughs galore, because there's a lot of local people involved in this. And you see Darren Nagel coming into the paddock, punching the air. Of course, he had a big grade one winner during the week as well. I know you've mentioned before how well Darren is riding now. Momentum and confidence can be a huge deal for the likes of Darren at the minute. He must feel like he can walk on water.
Huge. I mean, when a jockey starts riding with that sort of confidence, and you're getting on good horses, even when you get on the bad ones, you'll move them up. He's riding with huge confidence, Darren. Very, very strong rider, but he makes decisions by himself, Darren. He's that type of rider. This year he seems to be making all the right decisions. I mean, he's riding very good races. You can see there in that race there, he took up the lead for a while, and lo and behold, right at the finish, there he was again, came and stole it.
Absolute top class stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe the result is about to go official. We have first number 10 Rodriguez, second number 2 Corn Husker, Mark Beecher in the play, did everything right. The third horse across the line was Class Indian. Willie, again, I go back just once more to Mark Beecher. It's very rare he's out in the first 3.
Very rare he's out in the first 3. Like I say, I thought he had that one there, but I'm sure Corn Husker will definitely come on for a run there, Kevin.
Virginia Gents, trained by Paul Douglas Fout.
I just want to mention beforehand, we talked about some of the performers we talked with there to shake up. Ebenor, I watched him run through the race. Kind of thought beforehand that conditions weren't to suit him today. I definitely think that further on in the autumn season here,
again the victor,
maybe the
number
international
10, Rodriguez the time,
he's definitely a horse that's going to improve for today's run.
Here in the
also,
Brown
Jack
Advisory Legacy Chase.
Looked like he had a little bit left in the tank there, and he's one that could be winning here in the autumn season.
Fantastic stuff as always. That is our Legacy Chase, guys. The 5th race, the Brown Advisory sponsored Legacy Chase. We'll be back to you in a couple of minutes with a quick chat with Mike Hankin. Thank you very much.
The next race